Good morning, everyone. It's good to be with you again. This morning, we get to sign another memorandum of agreement with another missionary unit that have gone internationally. This MOU is quite different than other ones that we have signed, and that's because the couple that I'm going to introduce you to have been in international work and ministry for many, many years, and they have been connected with our church for all that time. They've kept up their associate membership with us, and we really appreciate that. Unfortunately, in all the changes that GPAC has gone through, there's been an oversight and an overlook, and we haven't entered them into some of these changes. And so we want to ask their forgiveness for the oversight that has happened, and we want to correct that by grandfathering them into this system that we've developed. So this morning, I want to introduce you to Keith and Ruth Snider. Welcome, Keith and Ruth. We are so glad that you're here with us this morning. Now, I've already mentioned that several of our people already know you, but maybe you could briefly tell us where for those in our congregation, new to our church and new to you, if you could briefly just tell us a little bit about where you've been over the years and where you're at now, and you can do that however you like. So welcome, and just give us a little background on yourselves.
Thank you, Ruth. We serve with Wycliffe Bible Translators. We began our ministry in Ghana, serving with the Chimburong people. We lived in a small Chimburong village for a number of years, helping to bring the New Testament translation to a conclusion. The New Testament was finished in 1987, published in 1989. After that, we began ministry in Cameroon, where I served as a linguistics consultant for our language projects there, helping the linguistic analysis of all the languages that were being worked on in Cameroon, and helping put those languages into writing. Ruth was our housing coordinator, and she did a most able job together with some other help, and we had some wonderful years in Cameroon. Then we moved back to Canada to help our children get adjusted to Canadian life, and we began ministry at the Canada Institute of Linguistics for a number of years. The Canada Institute of Linguistics is based at Trinity Western University in Langley, and it is the training school for Wycliffe Bible Translators of Canada. Ruth was served many different roles: librarian. Most of the time, she was a receptionist. I taught several courses. I also was in administration for a number of years in different roles there. Then in 2010, we made a little switch, and I continue to teach at the part-time at Canada Institute of Linguistics. Ruth runs ladies' breakfasts and things like that, but her official role is as my assistant, and the bulk of my time actually is not spent at CanIL, but I am a senior linguistics consultant with Wycliffe, and I'm helping Bible translation projects all over the world, helping them analyze their sound systems and put them into writing. So that's our role within the greater job of Bible translation.
Okay, so that's been really, really condensed, because it's been, Ruth, how many years have you been with Wycliffe Bible Translators now?
It will be 44 years in August.
Wow. So that was a very, very condensed version of it. Ruth, maybe you could tell us a little bit about what was your favorite role in all of these different roles that you've played in ministry.
Well, in Cameroon, when I was a housing coordinator, it was a joy to set up a home for new people coming in and see the delight on their faces when they looked and saw everything that they needed was there.
Cool.
And also, once we got back here, I also had another role of ministering to college-age MKs. And over the years, we had over 40 of those that came through our home. At least once a month, we'd have a meal in our home and we'd sit around, and before we would know it, it would be midnight. And I still have a connection with many of those young people that were in that group, so that was very special.
That is really neat, because as we've listened to your story, God has kept you connected with young people, it seems. Like we have a story that you started out in ministry as youth sponsors, and then now you're helping youth to learn how to translate, and you're reaching out to missionary kids and other students, young people. So God has kept you young by involving you with young people. So that is very cool. So thank you. I realize it's a very shortened version. And congregation, please get to know these people. You're welcome to communicate with them yourself. So now we're going to go more into this memorandum of agreement. And as our congregation knows, mostly we have 4 areas that we commit to as a church. And the first one is prayer. And people in our church have already been praying for you, but we want to more formally say that we are going to do that as a congregation, and we do that on our Sunday mornings through Global Highlight and in their various small groups and other areas. Another is planning, and we hope we do a better job of this than we did in the past in terms of informing you of our ministry direction of Grand Prairie Alliance Church. Then the third area would be communication, which we obviously haven't been very good at, and so we hopefully will do a better job of that in communicating with you, and that usually happens through a member of our Global Impact team in terms of finding out where you are personally, in terms of your family, in terms of your ministry. And then lastly is that we commit to financially supporting you for $600 a month. And this commitment, as the congregation knows, is for about 2 years when we review, because there's so many changes and our world changes so fast, we renew this MOU. So that is what we're talking about, a 2-year period. So the congregation knows that this is a partnership. So we would just like you to maybe speak to us your commitment to Grand Prairie Alliance Church.
Yes, thank you. And we are most happy to commit to these things. We will commit to praying for you. We have been doing that for years anyway. We commit to communicating our plans, our ministry plans to you. And we commit to communicating regularly with you. It's an honor and a privilege, and thank you.
Okay, and they already do that with several of you. Several of you already received their prayer letters and have for years. Well, we really wish we could do this personally, but because of the distance and because of COVID restrictions, we're not able to do that. So we're going to end our conversation here, but and go back to our live stream service where we are going to pray for you as a congregation. So we invite you to join us online to see that prayer and to be a part of that even from a distance. But we want to extend God's blessing to you and His very best. May God bless you and keep you. May He make His face shine upon you and give you peace.
Thank you.